In an effort to improve as storytellers ourselves, we believe it is imperative for us to study what came before us. Today we will be discussing another perfect scene, this one coming to us from Crazy Stupid Love, written by Dan Fogelman and directed by Ficarra and John Requa. We're going to be looking at the scene where Steve Carell takes his first try at seducing a woman. And who better than Marissa Tomei?
And this is my friend Jacob.
Hi.
He's just leaving.
Oh. Oh. So that's one way to treat people.
Over the course of the previous scenes, Steve has been learning the art of seduction from Ryan Gosling, albeit in an indirect way. By having Steve join him on his nightly escapades, Ryan has indirectly taught Steve his ways of seduction. Always buy the girl a drink, never talk about yourself, and make her do all the work to be interesting. Ryan, Mr. Miyagi'd Steve, teaching him all his tricks, and now Ryan is pushing Steve out of the nest and telling him to fly.
You did. You Miyagi'd me.
Huh. Take your ring off. Let's go.
With Ryan bringing Steve over to Marissa Tomei, he tries to start his usual charm, but Steve shuts him down real quick. And this is our first example of the scene as a microcosm of the film as a whole. In the beginning of this scene, Steve shuts Ryan down, which is exactly what Steve tries to do in the film. Initially, Steve rejects Ryan's tutelage. But, just like in the film, Ryan's methods seep into the scene. Steve starts by trying to buy Marissa a drink. However, Marissa is sober. So, strike one for Ryan's methods.
I'm 5 years sober. What can I get for you?
Nothing. Go away. We're good. Please don't come back ever.
Marissa asks what he does, and as per Ryan's rules, Steve doesn't answer, instead turning the question on her. Here's another moment where the scene becomes a microcosm of the whole. We don't care about what Steve does. It's boring. We don't care about it as the audience, so why should Marissa care about it? Well, it's because when it comes to two awkward people, that's all the small talk they know. What do you do? Tell me about yourself. The film as a whole is making fun of the dating scene.
Oh, seriously, what do you do?
Seriously, what do you do?
Are you really not going to tell me what you do?
Steve tries to follow Ryan's rules, but it just comes across to Marissa as weird. He doesn't know how to think on his feet. He's just following the script. And as soon as Marissa tells him what she does, he just continues with the script, saying that everything she does or did is boring. This is technically what Ryan was teaching him, but Steve is far too blunt.
Okay, I'm a teacher.
Boring. Come on. You gotta keep it interesting. Interest me.
He is turning her off, and she shows it. She tries to leave, but as soon as failure becomes present, Steve crumbles, unable to keep the facade up because he's just too nice. He immediately apologizes and admits the truth. He's got no idea what he's doing. This is another example of the scene being a microcosm of the film. In the film, as soon as it starts crashing down, Steve returns to his state at the beginning of the film, simply apologizing for his seeming ineptitude and trying to keep the people around him from leaving.
You know, I think my friends just got here.
I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? I'm in corporate insurance.
Oh, God.
I have children, plural. And my wife was cheating on me with David Lindhog.
He comes right out and tells her the truth. Everything that Ryan told him not to say. What he does, his multiple kids, and his wife's affair with David Lindhagen. Ryan is distraught. He knows Steve has just ruined his chances with Marissa. But this is a comedy, and we need to subvert the expectations of the audience. So instead of walking away, Marissa wants to know more.
Nice to meet you.
What were you supposed to tell me?
I don't know. I was supposed to say that you are the perfect combination of sexy and cute, which is actually something that I used to say to my wife, but now it's become corrupted.
She asks what he was supposed to say, and he tells her the planned line he had for her, and how it was corrupted by David Lindhagen. And then, what's even worse, he complains about what he's wearing, which is funny, but also gross. Definitely a turnoff in most cases. But once again, this isn't your average movie. Marissa doesn't hear the rest of it. She just hears the line. And she came to this bar for one reason only.
I'm with this sweater. This is called Slim Cut, but it feels like a scuba suit. And I'm looking at your breast. What's that about?
You think I'm the perfect combination of sexy and cute?
That's what you picked up from what I just said?
And this is the final reason why this is a perfect microcosm of the film. Steve spends the majority of the scene lying, being untrue to himself in pursuit of what he thinks he wants. In the same vein, Steve spends the majority of the film lying, and being untrue to himself to try to regain what he wants: love. But once he starts telling the truth, being honest with Marissa and with himself about who he is and what he wants, he finally finds success. In the scene, it's the success of seduction, and in the film, it's the success of rekindling the love with his wife. And that's why this is a perfect scene.
I studied at Oxford University for 5
Boring!
years.
Wow. Teacher with an alcohol dependency who studied at Oxford. Blah, 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 blah. England. Yuck.